feel that water underneath you, and you just have that powerful force pushing you right behind you. And you can do all sorts of different things on the wave.
Do all sorts of turns and eventually later tricks and stuff like that. Catch bigger waves, do more things.
You just get to zip by and do some fun stuff on the board. I felt great, and I felt like this is the start of the career.
The career?
The surfing career.
Yeah, grip and rip.
Yeah.
I needed a camp while we went to visit my grandparents in Cohasset, which is on the South Shore of Massachusetts. And basically, I had grown out of all the other camps around, and there was this one called Northeast Surfing that was just a surf camp that I did for a week. And I started doing it, and I just kind of fell in love with it. It was really fun.
Same thing as her, I started with the camp, but the difference between me and her was she started a year earlier than me. For her, the waves were much better and there's sand on the bottom, but for me, the waves were much worse the year after, and there was a lot of rocks on the ground, so it wasn't the best start to the surfing career, but this was much more fun. I started in LBI. It's in New Jersey. It's where my grandpa lives and my mom grew up. It was really a fun place to start with all my uncles and my grandpa and my dad just pushing me, coaching me. It just blended all together. Started working on the beach, like just popping up on a surfboard on the beach, and I love it. It's so much fun.
Well, basically the rest of the family was surfing.
My boys were old enough that they were getting into surfing, so I wanted to spend more time with them. And when you're out in the lineup, it's more social, so I started doing it then, and we had a good time, right?
Yeah.
This week at Surf Simply, we started the week off with shoulder to head high conditions. It was great to start people off with their angle takeoffs to high line and giving them time to set their rail. Tuesday, we had a large swell that came through, and so the waves grew to above head high. This allowed for people to practice taking off on waves that were a little bit outside of their comfort zone, as well as get some great whitewater practice. On Thursday, we took a trip over to Garza Reef as the bay in Guiones was closing out with the amount of swell that was coming in. The reef break at Garza is great for practicing your angle takeoff and cutbacks. On Friday, the swell had dropped slightly, and we returned back to Guiones. When we returned, the waves were glassy, it was offshore, and still had a bit of size, about head high. Again, this was great for practicing paddling into larger surf, angling your takeoff, the cutbacks, and also some whitewater climbs as it was a bit of a lower tide in the morning.
Always wanted to have a coach, have somebody look, video, teach, explain, be out in the water with me, help me, just to try to get better. And that's all happened. It's been a great experience. So,
Yeah.
And this guy, we wanted to get him comfortable, just starting out, just comfortable on a board, and he's been carving turns, and it's been good.
My coach was Amaya, and she was a crazy good surfer, and B, just a very good coach. She really broke it down. It was really easy for me to understand. She made it, all the steps, and whenever I got something wrong, she immediately knew just like a simple fix that helped. She didn't try to overload me with things. She would just give me one thing to work on, so the next wave I would improve on that for them, maybe like the next 1 or 2 or 3 waves. It was really understanding, so it was really nice. And she was also a very nice person, and it was really nice just to surf with her. Like, I got frustrated a few times because I wasn't doing well. And she would just come up with something to that would be easy for me to just
fix what I was doing wrong and able to like pop up and actually like ride the wave in instead of falling off. It's really nice.
My coach's name was Derek. We had a lot in common. It was fun being with Derek out in the water. Helped me out a lot with the stance of my pop-up and to get those feet matched like in the middle of the board and to get those hands over the rails and stuff like that. It was pretty scary out there because the waves were big, and I just wanted to try it with Derek, and it was pretty fun.
I shared 2 coaches and my grandpa, Will and Gabrielle.
They were awesome. The teaching was great, out in the water great. Will kind of took me under his wing for the most part because Gabrielle was with my grandson Luke.
I spent a little bit more time with Gabrielle. He was always there, pushing me and comforting me when there was a big set or a really hard paddle out. He was just there. It was a great feeling to know that there was someone out there who has the same passion, and you could just see his joy. Whenever he caught a wave, you could just see it on his face. It was a great feeling. Best advice? One that kept coming back and was very helpful, definite game changer, was staying low, and Gabrielle called it being compressed. That compression is just key for balance, for turns, for everything. And it really helped me out a lot this week.
Most people would think as kids you might not even want to just sit in a classroom outside of school anyway, but I actually found it really engaging just because I liked looking at myself on the video so I could see what was wrong. In my other sports that I do, I have to take videos so I can look and improve, and it was the same thing in surfing, and I actually found it quite similar. And it was just really helpful to see myself, and also it was good because to look at the things you did well and the things you did wrong, and to be able to laugh at yourself when you watch yourself fall. It was very helpful. And there are times where you looked really bad, but that's part of the process. And it just made you a better surfer.
Theory class for me, it was mainly just a time for learning and figuring out the things I did wrong and I need to improve on. It was also showing me some cool things that I did and like saying good job on that. The videos were cool, but I think the pictures were kind of cooler because of the videos. You can see some mistakes on the videos.
Yeah, you like the still shots.
Yeah.
Cole and I, our last name is Cerventi, and Chase and Reese, their last name is Phillips. And, it's Saturday today, and the Cerventis, they go way back to the Phillips on last Sunday. And we met at the airport and had a very entertaining car ride.
I saw you guys walking over, and we didn't think there were going to be any other kids with us because we thought this is our last kids week. There were just going to be 2 of us. And we saw you guys ever coming, and we're like, oh, wait, we're going to have more people with us? I was like, that's going to be nice. Because, it's always fun to have more people around your age to hang out with, especially when it's supposed to be kind of like a family environment.
It was fun being in the water with them, watching other kids surf alongside with us.
The best piece of advice was given to me for, my surfing was basically once, keeping my head up as well, trusting myself, not needing to look down at my feet because that was actually going to help me to look forward and look up and look to where I wanted to go. But we also ended up talking just about life in general and all that stuff. So basically, one big advice she just gave me was just to be grateful for everything that you have, and just that sometimes even if things you have a long journey ahead of you or something like that, just to enjoy it, and not always to look at that destination like it's the best thing, just to look at every step along the way as a journey, and not being feeling too rushed or anything like that. So I think I've always looked towards the end goal, but I feel like I'll start enjoying the little moments a little bit more.
And again, just on behalf of all of us, thank you